Hello and welcome to my channel Matilda and Josephine. I'm Jane, and in this video I'm just going to take you briefly through some of the things that I did to make my Matilda and Josephine May the 4th be with you video. So in my first sketch that I did of Matilda and Josephine, I dressed them up as themselves as witches with their normal hats on and had C-3PO flying precariously on a broomstick that he had added his own jet engine to. But then I came up with the idea of dressing them up as Princess Leia. I've also got a rather faint picture of Yoda hanging from a broom, trying to get one of the lightsabers, or both of the lightsabers, off Matilda and Josephine because they can't be trusted with them. And then up the corner I've got a tiny little C-3PO on the broomstick. I did later on do another sketch of Yoda just to make my life a bit easier. And then once I got all my sketches done, I then actually went onto the printer and shrunk down the original image so that I had it small enough so that I could then trace it onto another piece of paper and get like the composition that I wanted to get. So what I normally do is I take a really lovely high-tech table lamp and I use that as a light box to trace my artwork on and try and get the composition that I want. One of the problems that I used to have was in the olden days, back in the dark ages, light bulbs got very warm, and so but I would spend quite a lot of time because I could only do a little bit and then I would get hot and then the paper would actually sometimes start to buckle, whereas now you've got LED lights and other lights that just stay cold and it's really good. And then the next bit of the process is I just have a little template for the size of the painting that I do, and I'm just putting it over the actual image just to try and see how it looks best. And one of the things that I struggled with for a while with this painting was C-3PO just didn't fit. He was sort of, I wanted him to look like he was falling off the broomstick or having trouble, and I just couldn't quite get the angle for him and it just wouldn't fit in this small paper. So I did decide after that to actually go a bigger size. So this is what I finally came up with, and I felt like C-3PO looked quite good in there. He was sort of racing down, losing control of the broomstick. The next part of my process is to then get the actual piece of paper that I'm going to use to paint, stick it to that piece of paper, and then we do another bit of tracing. And this time I actually use the window because this is a bit too big to put on the table lamp, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't. It depends on the lighting outside, obviously. So I had that stuck to the window and I was able to kind of easily trace over it, and I did make sure that the image underneath is in pen so that it's much clearer. So now I have actually got it onto the paper, and then I have to put it on this black background. It just keeps it steady while I'm painting. So again, I just stick that on the black card and then we are pretty much ready to go. I just need to set up all my camera stuff. So I've got all my camera stuff up, and I've also got my very important dragon in the egg sitting there keeping me company. Right, so this is the real-time video before I've edited it, and there's actually, I think it's about 167 minutes I calculated, so almost 3 hours worth of painting, and I could have just uploaded that to YouTube and left it like that. And there are lots of areas in my videos where I'm just sort of looking at the painting or mixing paint or trying to get a lid off a tube. Also in the edited video I do zoom into the image. So once I've finished the actual painting, I then have to export all of the video from my camera onto the computer, and then I have to put it in the encoder because I use Adobe Premiere, and then I put it into the editing software, and these are all the different videos that I have taken. And then I've got all my music files, I've got all my audio files where I've been talking. I also have I've got the thumbnail for the actual collaboration in there as well. And so now if you watch the video in a much higher speed, you can see where all the bits are in my timeline. So the pink bit is the photo that I zoomed out of. The blue long line with all the little tiny black lines is where I edited the video. So it took me hours just to go in there and cut out all the bits that made the video a little bit too lumpy. And I also have to speed everything up. I have to change the frame rate. The green section is all the music bits that I had to put in there, and I also have to, when I'm doing the music bits, have to cut the ends off and the beginnings off so the music flows into each other nicely, and it just makes it a little bit better. So the link to the original video with the time lapse of this painting is in the description down below, and also this was part of a collaboration, so I've also linked the playlist with all the other artists who were part of this collaboration down below as well, so please go and check them out. And thank you so much for watching, and I leave you with some real-time painting.